Nigeria's diverse cultural heritage is what makes it a great nation. However, the country has been plagued from inception with civil unrest, political and ethnic crisis, religious intolerance, to name but a few. Peace building is about dealing with the causes of conflict and helping societies manage their diversity. It aims to resolve injustice through non-violent means. It encourages diverse people to come together to the table to forge a common path. Now, has Nigeria been able to utilize this important tool to engender peace and harmony among its over 250 ethnic groups and different religious inclinations? Sadly not. We will be talking to several Nigerian senior citizens and getting a feel on what their opinion is as regards to nation building in a diverse Nigeria. Professor Hilary R. Iyank is an African American who was the first Black person to be endowed as a distinguished professor in environmental engineering in the United States of America. He is a former president of the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja, and founding director 2002 to 2009 of the Global Institute for Energy and Environmental Systems at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. He is currently the president of the International Society for Environmental Geotechnology and the Global Alliance for Disaster Reduction. Professor Iyank has had a fair share of spending most of his life with people of different races, and this has made him gain more experience in human relations. I believe he has something to say in regard to peace building in Nigeria. As someone who has traveled around the world and have interacted with different people from different nations, what are the challenges of peace building worldwide with a particular reference to Nigeria?
This is an excellent question because it's one that, if properly addressed, can lead to global peace. Parties to peace come from different backgrounds and have different interests. So the important aspect is to find commonality of interest, because interest should intersect somewhere to form the basis for peacemaking. So the challenge is how do you make the participants in peace confabs come to a common understanding of the advantages that each party will derive from peacemaking.
What approaches have been found to be effective for peace building in Nigeria?
Well, if peace building is between countries that are in different political blocs, there must be some sort of referee, some umpire organization that has interest that is not adjudged to be partial to any of the two parties. And this is the role that the United Nations plays for the world, and this is the role that the African Union plays for the world. ECOWAS in the neighborhood here in Abuja, in Asokoro, plays the same role. So that's the first step. Find an impartial umpire. That's the first step. And then bring both parties to understanding.
Thank you for having us in your beautiful hall. I am honored.
So our ethnicity and our religion has become a tool for politicians to divide us, and it's working. Even there are some people who are educated, but they are too emotionally attached to their tribes and to their religion.
Dr. Suleiman Adejo is the founder of the Messengers of Peace Foundation, a renowned humanitarian and the president of the Queen of Peace, Nigeria. He is the director of the National Peace Awards. Dr. Suleiman Adejo has remained committed to the development of peace in Nigeria, especially through several peace initiatives and other programs as well in the country. Doctor, you have been an inspiration to the old and the young. I must commend your bold move to start up Messengers of Peace Foundation, especially at this time that peace is challenged in Nigeria. You gave your time and resources to spreading the word on peace among top citizens, spreading down to every geopolitical zones. If I may ask, what inspired and motivated you to start your movement with Messengers of Peace Foundation, and why did you choose to start from the top, promoting peace, starting with the senior citizens of our country?
Your Royal Majesty, Queen Angel Williams, I want to appreciate and commend your efforts. Your question is so serious at this point. Messengers of Peace was bettered in the year 2010. I came to realize that we can't be on the offensive all the time. If we don't promote peace, definitely there won't be development in our country. And I came up with the idea because my name, in my traditional name as a Kogi citizen from Igala speaking area, Onuche means messenger of peace. And I think I'm born to do this. So when the time came, I registered it and we took off. The idea of Messengers of Peace is to harness people of like minds who are promoting peace in our country, who love peace. Because the voice of peace advocacy must be loudest at all times. Without us promoting peace, there won't be progress in our country. Without us promoting peace, I don't think we'll even be seated here to grant this interview. Once there's violence in any community or state or local government or the nation at large, definitely everybody will not be living well. So that is why I took it upon myself to come up with this brand. The voices of those promoting violence is too loud in the country. That is why we came up with this concept, so that we also, peace advocates, will be the loudest. So doing, we will suppress those that are promoting violence in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we can see how the social media has taken a huge grip on the world. How do you think the social media can be effective in peace building, especially in Nigeria?
This is the area where we all need to come on board, because everybody, the youth in Nigeria, every one of us, we have Android phones. If we keep developing content, and what you're doing right now is an avenue for peace advocacy. By the time you push this content into the social media, several people who are lying down discomfort in their bedrooms, in their living rooms, in the comfort of their apartment, they will see that content to soothe the violence that is so terrifying in the country will suppress that of violence. The peace advocacy content will suppress that. So I enjoin everyone, every Nigerian, develop massive content from the entertainment world. Nigeria is ranked the second highest in terms of Nollywood, in terms of filmmaking. So if they concentrate on doing peace advocacy movies more than those rituals, I think it will sooten hearts and tempers. Instead of tempers rising, we find out that people will be accepting peace. And so doing, the social media is the best way to push this content in order to promote peace in Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Angel.
According to research, over the past 5 years, 3 states in Nigeria's Middle Belt, Kaduna, Plateau, and Adamawa states have created peace agencies or commissions initiated by the governors. Several other states are considering this. Now, these peace-building agencies have been tasked with building early warnings and early response for conflicts, developing grassroots conflict resolution infrastructure such as mediation and other processes. Are you aware there is peace among the top citizens of this great nation? Most of these elites are at peace with each other. We at the middle and lower class have so much hate. Let's find out how these senior citizens make it work among themselves. Ambassador Steve Midalla is the United Nations Rescue International Convener and Global Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the UN Economic and Social Council. He heads the organization that promotes the United Nations humanitarian services globally. and also advocates on their sustainable development goals. He worked towards achieving universal education in Nigeria, eradicating extreme poverty and hunger, reducing child mortality rates in the country, and improving maternal health to ensure environmental sustainability. He indulged in global partnerships for development to combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, etc., as well as promoting gender equality and empowering women in Nigeria. In creating such sustainable environments throughout the 36 states, the organization has given Ambassador Steve Midalla the yardstick for promoting peace in Nigeria. Ambassador, you have impacted so many lives, and you have been involved in a lot of charity outreaches. What is your opinion as regards to peace building in Nigeria?
Thank you for a good question. Peace building is very necessary and very key for our development. And that's why my organization, UN Rescue Services, in the past 2 months, precisely first, second, and third day of July 2021, we convened an international summit on peace and unity of Nigeria at the International Conference Center, the Air Force Nav Center in Abuja here. We invited all the stakeholders, the security outfits, all the service chiefs, the DSS, the IG of police. We invited the Afenifere Ndibo, we invited Ohaneze Ndibo, right? Afenifere and Arewa Consultative Forum. In fact, we even invited the IPOB, the Boko Haram, because we feel that all manner of Nigerians have to come on a local common platform and talk about how to live together. It's not acceptable to us that we are kidnapping ourselves. Insurgency is in the northeast, banditry is in the northwest, and different kinds of crimes everywhere. So we are like, let's give Nigerians a platform and discuss how to live together in peace and harmony, because that's the only way we can deliver development to our people.
What is the role of women in peace building?
Yeah, thank you. Women are our mothers, and I believe that there's an adage that says, if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. And so because of this, we have made sure that we are a gender-sensitive organization. I partially live in Stockholm, Sweden, and Sweden is one of the countries that have actually given a gender equality. It's actually one of our sustainable development goals is gender equality. So for us, the women gender, they are our mothers, they are our sisters, and our aunties. So women have been playing a prominent role in our, outreaches. The Secretary General of this organization, UN Rescue Services, International Secretary General is Ambassador Dr. Her Royal Highness Jovelyn Esparrabola. She is Filipino. She is also the United Nations Secretary, UN ECOSOC Secretary General. And even in Nigeria here, we have Barrister Afiniki. So they have been playing prominent roles. The ladies, the women, they are our mothers, and like I said, they are the ones that are sensitive to the plight of orphans, even in the northeast that I mentioned. You know, when these insurgents attack, they kill the fathers. So you have a lot of the women and the children. They are actually the ones that are taking the brunt of all these attacks and the rest of them.
Wow, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Honorable Yusuf Sharif Banki was the former National Secretary of All Progressive Congress Aspirants Forum. As a strong member, he was dedicated to the active participation of the youth in the affairs of the country, especially in politics. He preached peace with his focus on the youth, empowering them to stand on their own and also to live among each other peacefully, starting from the northern youth. He frowned at criminality among the northern youth, actively stood against it, and created alternate measures to engage the youth in community development, keeping their minds busy. He believes that with the youth focused on the development of the country, they will work together in peace thereby building a better Nigeria.
Honorable, for the pleasure of the viewers, can you give us a brief about yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much for being with me at this hour. And my name is Honorable Sharif Banki. I was born and brought up from Banki town, under Bama area of Borno State. And I participated in student unionism, political support groups, and what have you. And I also participated in election in 2019 election, general election, primary elections under the All Progressive Congress, our great party. And by the grace of God, I remain the National Secretary of the APC Aspirants Forum, those that actually aspired for various positions across the country under the All Progressive Congress party. And again, I participated in different party assignments, just like recent ones. I serve as the chairman of the Akwa Ibom State World Congress Committee, and I also serve as the chairman of the Akwa Ibom State Local Government Congress Committee. And even before then, I serve as secretary of the registration of Akwa Ibom States. And I have been very, very active in the party activities in Nigeria as it is now. And as a young man, I actually achieved a lot in the process and acquired a lot of experiences. And I think this is the brief experiences I have in summary in my own political journey.
What do you think is the role of youth and women in peace building, especially in Nigeria?
Well, this is a very tough question for a youth in Nigeria. The most difficult stage for a person in Nigeria is being a youth. And I had a lot of experiences in my life as a young person in Nigeria, and especially in the political participation process, where I believed if you want to teach somebody how to drive a car, you will not keep the person at the back or either at the passenger side to teach him how to drive, but rather to keep him on the driver's seat and guide him how to drive the car successfully. And this is how the person can learn it easily. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, Nigerian politics is entirely different from the rest of the world, where they all kept on telling us that we are the leaders of tomorrow. But if you waited for those people that are always saying we are the leaders of tomorrow, you will find out that you will even reach 40 without being anywhere. And as such, I sat down and think critically, and then participated in the process actively, without even waiting for someone to come and teach me how to do it, because I never believe in that at all. So what we did, I know Nigerian youth, in fact, the majority of the voters in Nigeria are youth. And unfortunately, we the youth were misled by some certain people for their own personal and selfish interests. By what they did was actually to divert our attentions from their failures by introducing sentiments, religion, sentiment, tribalism, ethnicity, and so on, just to divert our attention from their failures. Those people actually failed to fulfill their responsibilities in providing the dividends of democracy, providing infrastructures, providing the basic necessity of life to the masses at the grassroots. And then instead, they now use we, the youth, to fight each other, call all sorts of names, call ourselves all sorts of names. Maybe if I run for position, the only reason why my people will support me is because I'm a Muslim, or maybe because I'm their relatives, or maybe because I come from Banki, or maybe because I came from my own local government. That is the only, they don't use competency, capacity, and as a yardstick to measure what I can deliver to them after giving me the mandate. And that is why we keep on repeating something. And the youths are systematically scam out from the process entirely. When you look at the Nigeria now, I remember vividly when former President Obasanjo said Nigeria used to produce not less than 1.5 million graduates every year. You can imagine, and it's clearly written that out of this 1.5 million graduates, and even 100,000 of them might not even get employments or jobs to do. And you can imagine we will be having a rollover of 1.4 million graduates every year. So Nigeria, as it is now, is sitting on a time bomb. I can even give a reference of the NSAS protest that happened recently in the country and what have you. And look at the insecurity that actually contributed, that actually affected the economy of this country.
Honorable, thank you for having me in your home.
It's my pleasure to have you and to also speak to millions of people through you.
Hi everyone, my name is Agent Jo Williams. I am the Queen of Peace, Northeast Nigeria 2020. I studied journalism at Mahatma Gandhi University in Meghalaya, India. I am an international journalist. I embark on sensitization program to preach the need for peace and tolerance among Nigerians. Without peace, there won't be any meaningful development in the society. The need to come together and work in unity as a nation cannot be overemphasized. What we have had can be put to use if we accept who we are. It will not be an easy one, but with commitment and diligent efforts, we can achieve peace in Nigeria.